Well folks, it happened again. A whole bunch of Metroid Dread news thrown at us in the form of a Dread report, and a massive new overview trailer. There's a lot to look at across both of these, so let's not waste any time. I'm John Reardon, you're watching NWR TV. Let's look for some hidden secrets in the latest Metroid Dread updates. First up is the Dread Report. This is Volume 7 of Nintendo's ongoing Dread Report series, and this one in particular is focused on the Chozo. Of course, fans of this channel ought to already know a whole lot about the Chozo from Neil Ranahan's History of the Chozo video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But there are a few nuggets in this report worth highlighting. It starts off by describing the Chozo's fall from power, and states that this once mighty civilization eventually reached a breaking point and collapsed. Now the Chozo who remain tend to avoid the galactic spotlight. Now it's worth noting that this language implies the survival of multiple Chozo. We've seen two major Chozo figures in the Dread trailer so far, but since we already know that we're dealing with the X-Parasite in this game, it remains to be seen if both or any of them are actually living, breathing Chozo. But of course we've also seen some less prominent Chozo warriors and Chozo robots. So naturally we have to ask, are these warriors loyal to that big evil Chozo that we saw at the beginning of the last trailer? And if so, is this other Chozo, assuming this is indeed a different Chozo, hiding from the big evil Chozo? And are maybe all of the big evil Chozo actually X-Parasites? Is everything an X-Parasite? Is Samus an X-Parasite? But let's switch over to the new trailer. I'm not going to break it down shot by shot, as honestly a lot of the footage in here has been shown in other trailers and promotional material already, but instead I want to highlight just the new and interesting tidbits tucked inside the trailer. We get a few new shots of our good old pal Kraid, and right towards the end we actually see him get an arm free. So yeah, definitely clear that you are indeed gonna fight this guy again. The little bit of the fight we get to see feels kinda different from how we fought him the last few times, though it doesn't look like he's built up any particular resistance to arm cannon fire to the mouth. As one should expect in a Metroid game, we see multiple Chozo upgrade statues in this trailer, and we can actually even see the upgrades that they're holding. The first one, which is covered in moss, to me looks a lot like the Varia suit upgrade. We've seen Samus in a few different suits already, so it's likely that this is one of them. The second statue's item is a bit less obvious. At a guess, I'd say maybe a Morph Ball Bomb upgrade, but it's pretty up in the air. If any of you recognize it, drop it in the comments. Beyond those, we also have this big honkin' statue with a very different looking upgrade. This to me looks like maybe an Aeon ability. Next, let's talk about transportation. Here we see what looks like a straight up train, and you probably don't need my trailer analysis to tell you that, yeah, it's a train. I assume this works similarly to an elevator in other Metroid games, moving you to a new region of the world. We also see what might be a fast travel station like those found in Samus Returns, but it could also be a recharge station. But speaking of getting around the map, let's take a look at the map, because we actually get a pretty nice look at it in one of these shots. This region is called Artaria? Artaria. I'm gonna go with Artaria. I like Artaria. As you can see, it looks like the map has been filled in by a map station, but the areas Samus has actually explored can be seen in lighter colors. It looks like the exploration tracking is much more granular this time around, rather than simply showing large grids. This map looks a lot more specific and detailed than any we've seen in 2D Metroid before, which personally, I really like. This area also looks pretty big, and it's presumably just one region. We can see that by pressing the X button we can zoom out to a global map, so safe to assume we're looking at a lot of ground here. One of the complaints levied against Dread thus far has been these bland, sterile environments, but I'll stick with my assumption that we're seeing this environment the most because it's likely from early on in the game. Throughout this trailer we get a bunch of looks at other areas in the map with a lot of variation in color and appearance. Some of them are very mossy, they've been taken over by grass and plant life. Others are red and fiery, and probably play the Norfair theme because this is Metroid and that's what you do when the screen is red. We also get another quick look at an underwater area. I almost wonder if this will be somewhat the same style as Fusion, where different areas are built as specific habitats within the planet. It does look like there's some research being done here on different creatures. Could the Chozo be up to their old fighting dangerous X-Parasites by creating even more dangerous Metroid tricks again? We do see some interesting creatures down here, including this friendly-looking gentleman. He has several eyes. Could this be Crocomire back for revenge on the woman who killed him in cold blood? For real, did you guys know Crocomire doesn't attack Samus until after she attacks him? Like, she just murders him for literally no reason. It's really kind of dark and sad. Speaking of dark, let's wrap things up with a Chozo warrior that hopefully has an X-Parasite in him, because otherwise there's just no excuse for this sort of activity. Enjoy those nightmares. I look forward to fighting these things in the game. So what new stuff did you catch that I missed? Let me know in the comments, and check out some of our other Metroid-themed content as well. We have a lot of it, though fair warning, in some of it I say Samus as Samus, because I was raised by the Super Smash Bros. Melee announcer, Samus! And I'm sorry. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and consider subscribing to Nintendo World Report TV. You can check out NintendoWorldReport.com for a whole lot more, and you can find a link to our Discord in the description if you want to come hang out with us and talk about Metroid. In fact, we have a Metroid game club going on right now. Once again, I'm John Raridan, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. This video was made possible by our generous supporters on Patreon. Did you know that Nintendo World Report is funded directly by fans like you? When you support Nintendo World Report on Patreon, you get immediate access to multiple exclusive podcasts every month, exclusive Discord channels, an early look at select content, and more, all for as little as $1 a month. Check out patreon.com/NWR for all the details.